Hello friends, welcome to the Factrolz Telugu. Friends, today I want to teach you about the first chapter of the 10th class, that is heat. So this is the most important concept wherever if you go. So let us start the concept. So first of all, introduction. So to know about the heat fulfill, so first of all we have to conduct an experiment. So if you have time, perform the experiment in your home. So now I will show you on the board how to conduct an experiment by using simple things in our home. So first of all, so just we have to know about the heat. So that's why so we are conducting this experiment. So just simple thing, just take the three beakers. So take any three beakers, but the three beakers with the equal size. Take the three beakers with the equal size, and name the first beaker as A, and name the second beaker as B, and name the third beaker as C. So now take 10 ml of water and pour the 10 ml of water in the each beaker. That means each beaker contains 10 ml. So this beaker 10 ml. So this beaker 10 ml and this beaker 10 ml. So 10 ml or any measurement that you can have. So after pouring the equal measurements of the water in the three beakers A, B and C. So now so take an flame stick or something gas stove or put the beaker A in the flame. That means heat the beaker A in the flame and keep the beaker C in the refrigerator. That means so keep this beaker in the refrigerator and leave this beaker B. So do up to this these three things for the 5 minutes. So for the 5 minutes, so keep the beaker A in the heat. That means heat the beaker A and keep the beaker C in the refrigerator and keep aside the beaker B. So that means keep the beaker B at some place in any room. So after some time, so like sorry, after the 5 minutes, so now stop heating the beaker A. So that means stop heating the beaker B, sorry beaker A, and stop refrigerating the beaker C. So that means take out from the refrigerator beaker C and stop heating the beaker A. So now you can observe that so the beaker A has some of the heat. That means if you touch the beaker A and beaker the water on the beaker is somewhat hot and the beaker B is normal, that is you can experience a normal temperature. So that means in the beaker C you can experience some of the coldness. That means it is somewhatness cold. So here you can observe that so beaker A and beaker C, so these two beakers obtain some of the energy. So here it obtained the coldness energy and here it obtained the hotness energy. So finally we can conclude that so this heat is also a form of energy. So by this experiment we cannot comes to the final. So it is a form of energy. There are many experiments to prove that and there are some of the proofs also. So by this, so I can say that the heat is a form of energy. And so here you can also observe that by keeping so hands in any beaker, or suppose if you do not take any beakers or if you don't heat anything, suppose if you take the three different liquids like kerosene, petrol, water or milk, something you have taken, so by keeping the thermometers in the beakers, so you can observe the heat, like you can observe the differences in the temperatures. So like already you know that heat is measured in the temperature. The measurement of the heat is the temperature. So whatever we will measure all the things by the heat is the temperature, that is thermometer or anything. So this is the introduction of this chapter. So by this, so you can know the heat is a form of energy, and we will go to the first activity 1. So activity 1. So in the activity 1, so they are saying that so take a piece of wood and take a piece of metal. So these two things you need, you require to do the activity 1. So take a piece of wood, one thing, and take the piece of metal, another thing. So these two are the two components of the nature, right? As right. So wood is one component and the metal is the another component. So like metal means like iron piece, so like a steel piece like that. So many metals are available in our surroundings. So take any piece of metal and take any piece of wood. So now after taking the piece of metal and the piece of wood, what you have to do means, so keep these two materials in the refrigerator for the 15 minutes. So for the 15 minutes, keep these two objects in the refrigerator. So what will happen if you keep anything in the refrigerator? Just they obtain the so coldness to the body. So so after 15 minutes, so after completion of 15 minutes, so take out the two objects like piece of wood and the piece of metal. So take out the two objects and call one of your friend or show to your parents or anybody and ask them and to touch them. So touch the two objects and ask them, so like which one is colder and like which one is so cold, like which one is comparatively which is the most cold one and which is less colder than. So ask them. So and if you know the answer, keep the answer in the comment box so that I know you got the genius. So next, so suppose here what we have observed, that when we keep any material in the fridge, so what will happen, they become cold, that means they lose energy. So here you have to understand one point. So that is, so whatever you have taken the piece of wood or piece of iron, just leave that. So here the main point is, so when some body is getting heated, suppose any body is heat, that means I have already said the heat is a form of energy. So when any body is heat, so it is gain. So just remember the gaining. And another one, if any body is cool, so it is losing. So what are the gaining and the losing? So they are just gaining and losing the energy, that is heat energy. So here for example, suppose you have taken out an ice cube from the refrigerator. So why the ice cube is melting? When you keep in your hand, the ice cube melts. Why? Because the heat transfer from your hand to the ice cube. That means the ice cube is gaining energy. That means it is getting heated. So that's why you have some of the body temperature. So that is greater than the ice cube. So ice cube temperature is somewhat cool, but our body temperature is hot, like compared to the ice cube. So here ice cube is gaining energy. So that's why the ice cube the melts. Suppose if you keep the something in the refrigerator, so it is becoming cool. Why? Because it is losing energy and it is getting cold. So in the example of ice cube in your hand, so then what we will observe, your hand is getting cold, your hand is losing energy and it is transferring to the ice cube. So here what we have observed that, so here transfer of heat energy is we can observe. So heat transfer from hand to the ice cube. So in this way, so we can conclude that heat, when some body is heat in position, so that is gaining some of the energy, and when some body is in the cool position, it is losing its energy. So in our chapter, the energy means the heat energy. So the iron and the wooden piece were kept in a fridge for same period of time. Yes, right. So we have kept the both in the 15 minutes. That means same period of time. So but we feel the metal piece is colder than the wooden piece. So metal is so colder than the wooden piece. Why? Because the metal so can easily absorb. So those are the other reasons. But compared to the both things, so we observe that the metal piece is the colder than the wood. Yes, right. Okay, so now I will ask you two questions which is present in the textbook. So if you know the answer, please put in the comment box, or otherwise I will tell you the answer. So first one is, what could be the reason for the differences in coldness? So the two bodies are showing the two different coldnesses, right? So one is the most colder than, and another one is a somewhat less colder than the object. So what is the reasons for that? So if you know, keep in the comment box. And second one is, does it have any relation to the transfer of heat energy from our body to the object? So it means when we take out the objects from the refrigerator, so we have to hold with our hand, yes, right? So then, so here my question is, so the heat energy will takes place or not from our hand to the object. So when we hold something, like suppose if there is I hold the duster, so but there is no heat transfer. Why? Because this duster is at the room temperature, and so my hand is also at the room temperature, but So my body temperature is different and this one is different. So my body has one temperature and this body has a one temperature, but those are the very nearest values. The temperature is the very nearest. That's why no transfer of energy will takes place. So when you take something from the refrigerator, it is very cold. That's why it needs some energy to cold, to melt, or to change its state, like from solid to the liquid. So so in the same way they are asking that, so is there any transfer of energy from our hand to the ice cube, like ice cube or a metal piece or wooden piece? So these two are the questions. If you know them, so post in the comment box. So now come to the point. In the activity one, we are going to conclude one thing, so that when you touch the metal or wooden piece, you feel that they are cold. Yes, right? So while we are touching them, so we are feeling cold. Why? Because they are taken from the refrigerator. So that means the heat energy is being transferred from your finger to the pieces. Yes, right? So this is, suppose if this is the refrigerator and you have taken out the piece. So you hold it, that one, with your hand. Suppose this is your hand. So that means, so these two bodies are in contact, right? So then our heat energy is transferring from our hand to the metal piece. That is a pakka thing that will be happen in the real life. So the heat energy will transferring from our hand to the this piece, whatever we have taken, the iron piece or the wooden piece. So this means the energy is being transferred from our hand to the piece. So then when you remove your finger, you don't get a feeling of coldness. So this means when the heat energy flows out of our body, you get feeling of coldness. And when heat energy enters your body, you get the feeling of, so when the heat energy is transferring from our body to any metal, so then we feel the coldness. Why? Because here heat energy is moving away from our body to the another body, and the both bodies are transferring the heat energy. So whether the when the highest heat body will transfer the heat energy to the coldest body. So that means the heat energy is transferring from the hot body to the cold body. So then if we are not touching any cold object, then we do not feel any coldness. So why? Because here we do not touching anything, and in our body the heat energy is not transferring to the any metal or any substances. That's why we do not feel any hotness or any coldness at that time. So and so when the heat energy enters your body, you get a feeling of hotness. So like when you get a fever, then you feel that your body is very hot. Why? Because you are gaining heat energy. So like your body is producing the heat energy, then you are feeling very hot. So you can test this by bringing your fingers near the flame of a matchstick. I said, when you suppose this is a matchstick which is burning, or suppose you have kept your hand in the near the like a gas stove. So then what you will observe, the burning sensation, and you will feel that so it is so hot. So so if you feel that the metal piece is colder than the wooden piece, it must mean the more heat energy flows out of your body when you touch the metal piece. Now we have seen about the different temperatures of the bodies, right? The hot bodies and the cold bodies. So now we can at the last we can define the definition of the temperature. So we already know that the heat is measured in the form of temperature. So now, so we can define the definition of the temperature. So already we know, we will discuss so the heat in the next coming concepts and next coming videos briefly, and so like I will discuss in the next upcoming videos. So but now we have observed about the temperatures, right? Up to now we have discussed more about the temperatures. So like how it is like cold or hot, or normal at the room temperature or anything. So like now we can finally conclude the definition of the temperature. So the definition of the temperature is the degree of hotness or a coldness of a body. So it is defined as a temperature. So whether the body is in the degree of hotness or in the coldness. So like the degree which tells us about the temperature. So and that is like the body which tells us that it is in the hottest degree or in the coldest degree, that is known as the so temperature. So and so we say, so in the example of the metal piece, we say that the metal piece at the lower temperature, and as compared to the wooden piece when they are taken out of the fridge. So here when we compare it with the temperatures, so which temperature is more, that means, so like the metal piece is the lowest temperature, that means it has the very cold, that means it has the lowest temperature, and the wooden piece has the when compared to the wooden piece, the cold the metal piece is at the higher coldest temperature. Okay, so now some of the questions I will ask you in this video. So these are the final questions of this video, and I will discuss the next concept, that is the interesting concept, in the next video. So don't miss that video also. So now I will ask you some of the questions. If you know the answer, just put it in the comment box, so I will rectify that, and I will, if you keep the correct answer, then you are the genius. So first question, why does transfer of heat energy takes place between the objects? So we have observed that the many many examples of ice and hand, metal piece and the hand, wooden piece and the hand, like the three beakers. So why? So why here? Why there is a reason, or what? So what is the need of transferring heat energy from one body to another body? So what is the reason to transfer of heat? So this is the one question. So if you know, comment in the comment box, don't search in the Google. So if you know only, just comment in the comment box. And the next second question is, does transfer of heat takes place in the all situations? So that means, so like every time does the heat energy always transfer? So that is the second question. So I have already explained this one in the video. So I am also giving the hint, that is the example of duster on my hand. So remember the example, or otherwise see again the video, and so keep the answer. So in the all situations, does the heat energy transfer or not? So like in any situation, like the suppose body is in at the suppose 10 degrees Celsius, and the body B is at the 10 degrees Celsius. So then also will the temperature takes place or transfer or not? Once think it, and post in the comment box. So next, last and final question, what are the conditions for the transfer of energy? So that means we will always discuss that there are some of the factors for everything. So that means like how is the temperature transferred, that what are the factors affecting a temperature, and how can the heat energy transfer, in the which situation the heat energy is transferred. So finally the question is, what are the conditions for transfer of the heat energy? There are some of the conditions to transfer of heat energy. So these are the three questions. If you know, post in the comment box. And so this is the end of this video session. And in the next video, I will discuss you about the thermal equilibrium. So which is the interesting topic. So don't miss this video. So this is a very interesting topic, and you will like the concept some more. So thank you, have a nice day for listening the class. I think you have gained some of the knowledge into your minds. So follow my videos, subscribe to the Factrolz Telugu channel, and if you like my videos, hit the like button and share to your friends. So and I think I'm helping you in your studies. So thank you, have a nice day.